What is up, folks? This is Johnny, Bnq Driven, coming back at you with another episode of the Bnq and the Goof show. Big show this week. Before we get into it, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to go in the description below. Check out my other channel. Check out the blog. Check out our merch store and our Patreon, and of course, follow us on Twitter. And all that good stuff. But getting right into it today. Big week of free agency for the Eagles. We lose a couple guys, sign a bunch of good guys that really will help us out. Especially a lot of those guys we were worried about re-signing. A quick recap of all the guys we re-signed. Of course, we re-signed Fletcher Cox. Brandon Graham re-signed a little while back. Jason Kelsey said he's coming back for one more year. He's going to be one of the highest paid center. I think he is the highest paid center this year. And well-deserved for him. In addition to that, we re-signed Boston Scott. And the two biggest re-signings, I think, were James Bradbury and Slay. Just because that really solidifies that position. We also signed another corner, I think, Greedy Williams. He's a guy out of Cleveland. It kind of further solidifies that corner position to where now I don't think that's going to be an issue. I don't think that's something we're really going to have to address much the rest of the offseason. So that's good. That clears that up. All is left is really... Oh, and we also signed Rashad Penny. I think his name's Rashad. I know his last name's Penny. But he's a guy who's from out of San Diego State. He played for the Seahawks for a couple of years. Pretty good running back. We're getting him. That kind of fills up the hole at running back. Him and Boston Scott getting, new contracts. So, then with Kenny Gainwell, I was thinking that DB and running back were looking like the positions that we're going to be most needing in the upcoming draft next month. But... with these recent signings, safety might still be an issue, but I've heard, it still remains to be seen if CJ gets re-signed or not. I've heard talk about Jalen Mills being re-signed as a safety, kind of moving positions or whatever. So, but of course none of that is known yet. And as far as guys we lost, Javon Hargreaves also is, obviously is a tough one. TJ Edwards, our leading tackler last year, that's a huge loss, I think. Kazir White, major contributor as a linebacker this past season. So I think he's a pretty big loss as well. So that really, as far as the free agency movement this past week, kind of shifts the goalpost to where our big kind of like goals or targets or areas or whatever should be this off season. Especially as far as the draft. Like I last week I was watching tape, and film and combine of all these running backs or whatever, and to make a kind of piece of which running backs I think we should get, and then of course we decided Rashad Penny, and that kind of. I don't think running back is going to be a big position that we search for. We might get one in the later rounds. I don't know. But my approximation, it now looks like our biggest needs are going to be... I'm going to hold off on saying safety. Just because, again, I don't know how that's going to shake out. It looks like it could be linebacker. Although I have heard rumblings that we might get Bobby Wagner. So... that would be pretty good. So if that happens, then we won't need to draft one, or at least not early on. When I'm saying need to draft one, I'm saying a guy that we're looking for in the first round that we want to contribute right away or whatever. Kind of like Nakobe Dean last year, but because he's really the only linebacker we got left from last year, more or less. Obviously there's probably some other, but anyway. So it's looking like our number one positions we need are linebackers and probably some interior defensive linemen or just defensive linemen in general. With Javon gone and Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph obviously were on 1-year deals. I don't know if they're coming back or not. But either way, we need a little more of a lasting solution to that situation, because we could get those guys on another 1-year deal, but that's not going to really be a long-term solution at that position. So, but this week I'm going to be having a new segment throughout the week. I'll be doing draft analysis for each position or whatever, guys that I think we should be looking at, who I think the top guys are at each position, kind of go round by round, like, at linebackers. These are the guys we might want to look at in the first round, second and third, like second day, third day, whatever, something like that. So I'll probably be releasing those videos as short throughout this week, and I'll probably do a position a week until, based on how needy I think we are at that position, until the draft comes along. I think there's some really good running back talent in this draft. I think it would be a mistake to not get any of them, just because, I think there's some guys that could definitely contribute right away. I'm talking about, of course, B. John Robinson is the best running back. I can't remember the guy's name out of Alabama, but he was the guy, honestly, that impressed me the most as far as watching his tape and watching his drills at the combine. Of course, he ran a pretty fast 42. I don't remember exactly. I think it was like low 4.4s, maybe high 4.3s. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head, But I don't think we're going to be getting any of these guys wasting a high draft pick, just because, we already have 3 pretty solid guys. It's not a need. It'd be kind of a luxury pick, which, we could swing it. Because we got a pretty solid roster overall. But yeah, like I said, I'll be putting out those draft analyses, probably starting on Tuesday, and we'll be probably doing that just about every day until the draft comes along. No real big news other than that. Things are, going about as usual for the Flyers. They're losing most of them, most of their games. As to be expected. Like I said, they're rebuilding now. Sixers, they're winning most of their games. They're still a top 3 seed in the East. No real big changes. They got a win last night against the Pacers. Is that who they played last night? They won 141 to 121. I don't remember who they played, but they won. And they're on a 7-game win streak, 8-game. I want to say 7, maybe 8. Well, they're on a couple game winning. They're on a good winning streak right now, so they're doing good. Drexel's women's team is in the NIT, or they were. Lost first round. It's a travesty that they were even in there. It should have been an NCAA tournament, if you ask me. Shauna Washington, career high 43 points in her last game. So, incredible end to a otherwise a disappointing season. Season that didn't end the way it should have, in my opinion. But it's great for her. And Drexel had one guy almost All-American, Brian Bonino, I think his name is how you say his name. Or I think that's his name. Anyway, he made it to round 12, which is one round away from All-American. So, congratulations to him. Congratulations to the Lady Dragons. And that's all I got for the show here today, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Again, make sure to give us a like and subscription. And let's go Birds. Let's go Sixers. And let's go Drexel.